church. You know how pastors talk. They talk very long, and they talk a lot of sense, right? So they say President Clinton is talking now, and so they won't get here until about half an hour to 45 minutes.
Until when?
About half an hour to 45 minutes.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. My name is Bond, James Bond. I just want to welcome you. Unfortunately, the rain is just unbelievable. I even lost my car, so I had to find another alternative. I go back and look for it. Welcome to our funeral festivities honoring the late Jesse Louis Jackson. We lost a great man, and hopefully as we continue to speak, we have our distinguished presidential delegates from Nigeria. I'm going to just stop here and then call Professor Amuwo, who is my boss. Even though I'm the president, he's my boss. Professor Amuwo, please come on, then we can start the program as quickly as possible when I go to eat my food. Here.
Good evening. I can never be this guy's boss. So he's the president of Nigerian National Alliance forever. He made me the vice president. That was 15 years ago. So welcome to Chicago again, to the only city that ever produced a president in Nigeria. So give us a round of applause. So we're really excited that you are here. You are the leaders of our country, and we want to make sure that we do whatever it takes to make sure you are comfortable. My job is more so to introduce to you people who are here. Once I mention their names and how they are related to this little event, then we will call our Honorable Ambassador to come and introduce our guests. Again, my name is Shafdin Amuwo. the first group of people I need to introduce are those people that roam the streets of Chicago with our president. And I have some of them here. I have Dr. Shonoiki here. I have Dr. Akirile here. One of us has passed, Dr. Oluokpopo, that many of you probably have heard of. One of his daughters are here. One of them is here. Okay, that's Sherry. That's Dr. Oluokpopo's daughter. Now, we have a patriarch and a matriarch of our Chicago family here. Dinner for the president last year, somehow one of you asked me, what are you doing in Chicago for so long? I have a lot of reasons for being in Chicago. My wife's right there, Linda. That's a major reason why I'm still in Chicago for 56 years. But some other people precede me. I want to introduce to you the patriarch and the matriarch of our Chicago family. They are back there. Chief of the Oba of Lagos. So if you're still staying here, being a direct descendant of the Oba of Lagos, who am I claiming that I am still here? So when he leaves, I might decide to leave, but he's still here. So thank you for being here. We had asked the leadership of Nigerian organizations to come here this afternoon to welcome you. Otherwise, you will have thousands of people here in Chicago. We love our dear president. He's one of us. He roamed the streets where we roamed. He did the kind of things we used to do. We used to protest a lot in the city of Chicago. Many of us were part of the NADECO. I call it NADECO Enterprise now because the hope that NADECO brought at that time is still ranging, is still around, and that was what led us to Reverend Jesse Jackson Senior. I wrote a short tribute to him a few days ago. Reverend Jesse Jackson was the envelope that allowed us to do what we had to do in the city of Chicago. Reverend Jesse Jackson Senior, if you were to mention many of the reasons many of us actually survive and thrive in Chicago, Reverend Jesse Jackson was a reason. I know that every other Saturday, in about 1994, 1995, we had to picket Chicago Sun-Times and Chicago Tribune. The only reason we were never put in jail was because Reverend Jesse Jackson had to intervene. His intervention was a major factor why the issue of Abacha must go was in the front burner of Chicago. And you know, when great things happen in America, I'm not talking, not just because I've lived here for 56 years, when great things happen in America, it starts from Chicago. I'm telling you, that's the truth, especially for us Nigerians. When we chose to have dual citizenship, having an American passport, Nigerian passport, the effort to make that happen started from here. Some of them have passed on. Let's see you. Dr. Aya was the president of Nigerian National Alliance when it was signed into law that we could have dual citizenship. There were 9 of us. I think some of us are still here. But Dr. Aya was our leader. I'm glad he never went to jail. So Chicago is a place where great men are produced. It's a place where if you really, really try hard, you will succeed in terms of what you plan to do. And our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, walked these streets of Chicago. Many of the employment opportunities that were available at that time were very much limited. But if not for Reverend Jesse Jackson, many of us would not be able to access those employment. So you have Nigeria in very high places today because of what he did. I'm going to take a break so that Ewa can introduce some of the people that I know very well, and because I'm long-winded, so forgive me. I'm a teacher, so because I'm a teacher, I can go on and on in describing people. But I want to mention one of our young people that just ascended to become the president of Eco Club International. That's one of the organizations that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu started some 25 years ago. So Lola, please rise, let's see you. That's Dr. Lola Agbara. She became not only the president, she became the first woman to become the president of an organization that would not let women in at one time. They're all from Chicago. Dr. Ewa, I need you to help me introduce some of our fellow politicians here.
Thank you.
Oh, there's a couple of people that I want to mention before you go ahead. I didn't see Chairman Kamoru back there. Kamoru, please rise. There's a reason why I wanted to introduce some of you, because when we were running around protesting, they are the ones in the forefront of the protests of Abacha must go. There is Professor Irogbobo right there. There is Imam Musbao right there. There is Dr. Ogbara right there. There is Mr. Femi Enrile. Of course, there is Alhaji Animashaun. This is very important to the president because the president knows quite well that all of us who are still here want to make sure that we keep the candle burning, given the kind of work he did when he was here. It wasn't very easy. It was not an easy time. It was a time that I called a time of turmoil. And we just give thanks to God that many of us never ended up in jail because Reverend Jesse Jackson had to shield all of us. So let me give it to you, Dr. Ewa, to continue.
Thank you. Did you introduce Patrick? Have you introduced? That's right. Okay. Before I continue with my monologue, after our dignitaries have spoken, I will handle the phone. I mean the mic, which is not operational at this point. It's not. Patrick, we are in this place right now, which is the African International House. The president is Patrick Wuto. Unfortunately, I serve as the chairman. For life. For life. Everywhere is for life. As far as I'm concerned, we are here to commensurate and thank God for giving us Jesse Jackson. As I have already said, let me cool off because I'll come back and speak about him relative to what he has been to us, for us, and by us. Right now, I would like to give the microphone to the Consul General of Nigeria in New York to please introduce the presidential delegates from Nigeria. After that, I will dismiss him and dismiss all of you, and then I'll come back for my monologue. His Excellency, the Consul General of Nigeria.
He doesn't have the right to dismiss anyone. That's why he's the president for life.
Is it afternoon? Let me say good afternoon, Nigerians. Thank you for having us. My name is Ambassador Abubakar Jida. I'm the Consul General of Nigeria in New York, and I cover 20 states, including Chicago. I will not waste time, but to go ahead and perform the task I've been requested to do. We have before us a presidential delegation from Nigeria, sent by Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, to come and represent Nigeria at the funeral ceremony of the late civil rights icon, late Reverend Jesse Jackson. The delegation is led by His Excellency Senator George Akume, CON, Secretary to the Government of the Federation. Please put your hands together for him. Second on the list is Her Excellency Barrister Hannatu Musa Musawa, the Honorable Minister of Arts, Tourism, Culture, and Creative Economy. My boss, His Excellency Ambassador Shola Enikolaye, Senior Special Assistant to the President on International Affairs and Foreign Affairs and International Relations. Yes, sir. Also, we have in our midst the Senior Special Advisor to the Secretary of the Government of the Federation, Mr. Dakpo Oyedemi. Please put your hands together. I have Mr. Okoro Ifeanyi Godwin, who is Head of Chancery in the Consulate in New York. And I also have one of our colleagues, Osekeme Christabel. She's also here somewhere. So this is a very powerful delegation. We're very happy in that His Excellency Senator George Akume represented Nigeria very well, extremely well. We want to also thank you for honoring him with this reception. When we included it in the program, he was very happy when we said Nigerians are going to host him. So we drove all the way from the venue of the event to come here straight. He wanted to go to his hotel, but he said, no, we must come here, and he has to listen to Nigerians because he believes you may have one or two questions to ask on what is going on back home. And I believe you have the right person because he's always with Mr. President. He is the secretary of all Mr. President's committee, so he knows the heartbeat of Mr. President. So I strongly believe he will be able to respond to the questions you put across to him. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as I yield the floor to Professor Amua, who has been our host, even though anytime we come here for passport intervention, we get his message, but he's not always around. So thank you for what you do. The original has always been assisting. This is the very hall actually where we attend to Nigerians. We did an intervention last year. Was it last year or 2 years ago?
Last year.
Last year, we attended to over 500 Nigerians and all of them got their passports. So we're very happy. When I arrived, we had no passport machine, no printing machine. But the president gave a directive that we must, New York must have a printing machine, which eventually was sent. And today, if you go and do your biometrics at our missions, you get your passport same day or the following day. So I thank you. Put your hands together.
Because I don't know whether I have to start with you or with him.
It doesn't matter.
Huh?
Yeah, two times. Doesn't matter.
We're the president.
For life.
For life, James Bond.
Yes.
Ewa. Professor Mao, I don't know your portfolio here, but I know that you are one of the leaders. and other leaders like the patriarch and the matriarch and the great Nigerian people who are here this evening. On behalf of this delegation, I really want to thank you so much for arranging this reception at very short notice for us. We remain very grateful, and on our return to Nigeria, I'll convey this to the very grateful President, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Well, we came because, as Prof said, the Reverend Jesse Jackson was a very strong personality, not just in Chicago, America, but throughout the world. And when I say throughout the world, I mean Africa as well. He visited he visited Nigeria a number of times, particularly at periods when things were very tough in the sense that democracy was on the run. And so many people were affected by the government of the day then in Nigeria. So the president said it was very imperative for him to be represented here. And he would have loved to be here himself, but again, other equally important state matters stopped him from coming. That's why he said I should lead this delegation. Two members were not able to make it, but I believe Brian will be here tomorrow. Her Excellency Mr. Sujuku, who is the Minister of State Foreign Affairs, had to be diverted to Chad for another assignment. Well, as you all know, Mr. President is not just the son of Chicago, he's the son of Lagos, he's the son of Nigeria. And by the grace of our people, he was elected into office on the 29th. He was sworn in on the 29th of May, 2023. When his government came into power, things were very rough, very, very tough, because the economy was not. I had expected the microphone because we are not yet campaigning, so I.
Oh, I think this was supposed to go in your pocket. Is that the job?
It's not yet time for campaign, so. I don't. Well, when we came in, it wasn't easy. We took off in turbulent weather. It was really difficult. The economy was in shambles, quite frankly. In the foreign reserve sector, we had less than, is it $100 million? We had less than that. In fact, the Financial Times of London said our foreign reserves were minus one or so. So that was how bad the situation was. And we also had multiple taxation. Again, we were referring to the multiple taxation, which made business very, very unfriendly. And the investment was very difficult to be effected because businessmen didn't know which tax or how much they were going to pay by way of taxes. Not only that, Forex was sold to people depending on who you knew. If you knew somebody at the CBN, it was going to be a different ball game for you. And that was when the president came in. He had to first of all sanitize the economic sector of our country. The CBN came under very close scrutiny. So many things went wrong. I believe most of you have read about this in newspapers and so on. Things really went wrong, and some approvers were not approved, but they were effected. They called them approvers in court, running into trillions of naira. But all these things are now a thing of the past. The foreign exchange window is now one. If you want to get foreign exchange for investment or even for educational purposes, you go through the same procedure that everybody will go through. It's not a matter of who you know. And taxation has now been streamlined, so you don't have to pay multiple of taxes as it used to be. A lot of emphasis has been also placed on checking corruption. If you hear people talk about corruption in Africa or in Nigeria, you think that we're the worst country in the world, but that is not true. Anti-graft agencies have been strengthened with better laws to make them perform more maximally and efficiently, and that is what is going on. Many people are being prosecuted, and hundreds of thousands of naira, some in foreign exchange, have been recovered, and these recovery efforts are ongoing. That is why today we can boast of having $49 billion in our foreign reserves. This is a remarkable achievement. You've heard about removal of fuel subsidy. Fuel subsidy had become big and uncontrollable, like a China bull in a very delicate shop. Nobody could control it. Every president or every presidential candidate in Nigeria talked about fuel removal. But if you won, as soon as they won election and they were sworn in, that's it. The subsidy regime would continue. President Obasanjo said he was going to remove it. That was his covenant with the people of Nigeria. He didn't. The courage to do that was lacking. Yaradua was his own government where he came in, he wasn't very fine, and his life was cut short. We believe he would have done quite a lot for the country. And Jonathan couldn't do it. Incidentally, Buhari couldn't do it because Buhari was Minister of Petroleum Resources during the military, I think under Obasanjo, and he did very well. I asked him one day when we were going for campaign, he said, we hear so much about this subsidy. He said by his time, there was nothing like that. And he said he was going to remove it, but again, fuel subsidy is like a wild dog. If you fight it in a very soft manner, it will get at you and likely kill you. Atiku promised, he didn't win. Obi promised, he didn't win. Asiwaju promised, he won, and he did what? He removed it the very day he was sworn in as president of Nigeria. Funds going to, thank you very much. We have more funds going to the states and the local government for development. So if you go home and your state governor is not performing, then you hold him responsible. A lot of money is being sent to the states and local governments. Now, people have been asking, what measures did government put in place to alleviate the problems of poor people following this removal of subsidy? Buses, CNG buses, electric buses, and convention centers, very, very little cost to owners of these vehicles. So the cost of transportation following this measure I'm talking about has gone down. I remember in those days from Makurdi to Abuja was 10,000. I think now it's 4,000. And of course, people say you have shortage of food. But again, if you remember when we, Honorable Minister, I don't know whether when we engaged the northern groups, they complained that they couldn't sell their grains and so on, food stuff. Why? Because the cost of this stuff had gone down. And this has been one of the problems they talk about. And the issue of food scarcity is not a problem now. Food scarcity is not really the problem because it is there and it's affordable. Some Nigerians have said we should set up marketing boards to buy these grains from farmers and keep for intervention purposes. But you see, we've been saying that in today's world, the economy must be private sector driven. So when you begin to come up with more distortions into the system, you may discover that some of these control measures may lead directly to lack of control. So that is where we are, and work has started on production of very critical inputs in the agricultural subsector, and that is production of tractors, so that we will have more tractors and they will be sold to farmers, actual farmers, not farmers who carry huge portfolios and go about looking for some other things in the offices. And so I want to mechanize agriculture completely, and we are very conscious of that, and so much is being put in that place. And that is why government also subsidize Dangote refinery. It also produces what? Fertilizer. And our other refineries are also producing more, I think it's 58 million tons now. Sorry, million liters per day. You see, in the past, it wasn't possible. Why? Because monies for turnaround maintenance of these refineries were released to contractors. In most cases, the whole monies were released, but work was not carried out. It's a different thing now. I mentioned the issue of food. I know it's one of the elemental needs of man, no doubt about that. But there was a time, Lagarde, when she was MD of International Monetary Fund, she gave a lecture to a select group in London. It was, in Saturday, it was well attended. I don't know whether they imported those carpets from China, red carpets. I've never seen red carpets like that. She was reading out figures about world population in the next 30 years and the issue of food security, among other things. That was when she said Nigeria will become, is it the fourth largest country in terms of population in the world? I said population will grow in Africa to, I've forgotten the percentage, and then the Far East, followed by the Middle East, while Europe was going to stagnate or the baseline, okay. America will have this growth, but it will be very marginal. And she said these are implications for food security. And she mentioned Nigeria again. Nigeria will have to produce a lot of food to meet the requirements of West African sub-region, Africa, and some parts of the world. So we're treating this issue seriously. You heard about NEFAM, which is the first such initiative in Africa, where students now have access to loans. Students who are in tertiary institutions, they have access to loans, very soft loans, so that nobody can be denied higher education simply because he wasn't born into wealth and privilege. 6 countries have so far come to Nigeria to understudy that program. And I think so far, the last time I saw it about a month ago, about 650 billion naira had been disbursed to needy students. It's very well funded, this program. You've heard about, road construction, roads are bad, but to be honest, again, you have a very large country. We are not America, they started long ago. But if you go to Nigeria now, in these zones, these 6 geopolitical zones, major roadworks are going on. And I know that this, the Honorable Minister of Works told the President on Wednesday at FAKE, Federal Executive Council meeting, that by the end of April, he would have 4 major road projects in every geopolitical zone to commission. So these are some of the things this present government is putting in place. You have heard about killings and the issue of genocide, security generally, genocide against Christians and so on. Boko Haram started in Borno, in North East geopolitical zone. When they started, it was like an ideological movement because it said Western education is bad, they don't want it. But at the same time, they were using radios and telephones and motorcycles and cars, pickup vans and so on, and bullets manufactured through Western intervention. So that was the way they started. It is of course true that they started by killing people. But these killings were cross-board. If you remember, there was a time the emir of Kano was almost killed in the mosque by these same Boko Haram bandits or criminals. So, this thing started, as I said, during the time of President Jonathan. No, actually, during the time of Yaradua, it was clear, they were clear completely. Yaradua eliminated them. They resurfaced during Jonathan. And by the time President Buhari took over, 23 out of 27 local governments in Borno State were under occupation by these people. The people who don't believe in Western education. Now, Buhari did quite well. I think by the time he was leaving, Borno had been cleared. They had moved to other areas too, like Bauchi, Adamawa. Then, I don't know what is happening in Katsina, whether it is Boko Haram or they are bandits. But some of these people also come from outside, many of them. Why do we know that they are from us? They don't speak English, they speak French. And a few of them tried to speak Hausa, but it's not solid Hausa, so you know that government came in. They added firepower to the military and to the police. As I'm talking to you now, by Monday, they will begin another wave of recruitment of people into police force. About 50,000 will be employed. The president gave that directive, and funds have been sufficiently provided to cover the salaries and allowances, and indeed munitions for these forces. Some changes were also effected in the military hierarchy, and recently the police. All these efforts are geared towards ensuring that the fight against terror is very much on course. And that is what is happening. You heard that there was some support from America when some people were bombed. Some of these groups were bombed in Sokoto. So there is this cooperation between America and Nigeria to fight terror. The issue I mentioned briefly is that of Nigeria being a country of particular concern, which we believe those of you who are here can also do some public relations work for Nigeria. I am a Christian. I know the president very well. When he was governor of Lagos, he returned schools to their owners, and 90% of these schools were owned by the missionaries. And those of us who are close to him, we are close not because we are Muslims like him. We are close because he believes we can add value to his government. And that is what he has been doing. Today, the Minister of Defense is a Christian. The Chief of Defense Staff, here you call, the equivalent is Chairman Joint Chiefs. I think he is Chairman Joint Chiefs. And the Chief of Air Staff is also a Christian. So these appointments reflect federal character, and he takes into consideration the sensitivity of our people. Our diversity is not just in terms of ethnic composition of the country. It also reflects in the religious orientation of our people. I am a Christian. And you see, if you remember in the past, there was a time Chief MKO Abiola was the presidential candidate of the SDP. His running mate was Babagana King, Ambassador Babagana King. They won that election according to Adamo Chiroma, round and square. They won that election. So sometimes we easily forget the past. And I remember a time when, during the military, Gawan was the head of state. Admiral Way was chief of staff, supreme headquarters. And you see, he was also a Christian. Gawan a Christian. Chief Awolowo was Minister of Finance and Chairman, Deputy Chairman, Federal Executive Council. So he was in the cabinet number 2 man to Gawan. And I remember during Buhari, a Muslim, Idi Agbon from Kwara, also a Muslim. There are some of these things that we can manage as a country and move forward. Basically what I'm saying is that Christians are not targeted by the government, but we have bandits. These Boko Haram people have been degraded. There's no doubt about that. And that is why many of them have become kidnappers. You know, they make a lot of money through kidnapping. Even that one that being fought frontally. Those who hide in the forest, as I said, and come out to kidnap or to kill, are mostly from outside the country. And where you have mining activities, and we have many mining activities, solid minerals in Nigeria, where you have these activities, it is believed that the miners, because they don't pay taxes and so on, they will also bring in arms to defend their mines. So these are some of the complexities we face. And America has also, I believe very strongly, seen the total commitment of government in trying to uproot these people completely from the face of Nigeria. That is why they are also giving us support. Like the intervention they made in Sokoto, was it sometime in December or so last year? Yes. So these are the issues we have in the country. But there are so many activities of government that are going on. In the telecom industry, too, a lot is being opened up to ensure that the people, our brothers and sisters who live in the rural areas, also have access to internet services. And we're also modernizing so many things. I know in the area of power, investment is going on. But things went wrong in the past. Monies were collected for power projects. The idea was that by 2007, Nigeria would have added 6,000 megawatts of power to the national grid. Monies were collected from the three tiers of government: local, states, federal. But nothing was done. So you see, governments in the past had borrowed so much. So it is not a lot of this present administration to pay most of these loans because they have fallen due. So a lot of money is also devoted to servicing these loans that were taken by previous governments. These are some of the things, some of the problems we have. And as you know, we depend quite a lot on oil to earn revenue for the government. Unfortunately, why this thing was high in the past, now it came down. It's because of the unfortunate situation in the Middle East that, you know, these oil prices are going up now. But they had actually come down. So you see, we have creative economy here, the minister. I think she may add one thing because I know what she's also doing in her own ministry. So you see, it's not that nothing is happening, a lot is happening. We have had elections under this government. We have won some of the elections, we have lost some of them, which means we recognize the fact that sovereignty belongs to the people, so they make the choices themselves. It is not what you used to see in the past where somebody said, we win by hook or crook. And one president told me that they will take over all the states in the country. That was, so I told him that, look, if you play with Lagos, Kano, in particular, these two states in particular, there will be fire on the mountain. And the whole electoral process will be discredited. So please, sir, don't do that. Where we lose, we lose. But you know, he had military background. So I mean, when our country returned to presidential democracy, the first president we produced was the one who made this comment. So, distinguished Nigerians, we really want to appreciate your performances here in the diaspora. When I was governor of Benue State, that was long ago. I think in year 2000 now, no, it was in year 2000. My friend's wife was celebrating her, was it 40th birthday or so at home. David at home, he's no more. They were based in London. The wife, the widow is still there anyway. So we went to Jamaica, and at Montego Bay, which is a very popular seaside resort, frequented by tourists, particularly Americans. And we met Andrew Young there. I got to know him through President Obasanjo. He used to come. He was a very good friend of Obasanjo. So we were on the same table, very large table. He came with his associates, so we joined him. We're talking. So the issue of Nigeria came up, and he said, look, in the United States alone, Nigeria had, as at that time, over 22,000 medical consultants. Should they now declare to withdraw their services, the entire healthcare delivery system in U.S. would be paralyzed. So you can see your performance, the recognition that you do so well. You are doing very well. And he also said he visited one factory and he discovered that the most sophisticated component of the machinery there was the invention of a Nigerian. He had so many nice things to say about us. So you continue with that. You know, it's true that you people are many here, so a few may decide to operate outside the established norms. You know, it's your responsibility to try to correct them too. But as I said, there can't be many. And your good name should be maintained. We're very proud of you. And once again, we want to thank you so much for this reception. God bless you all.
Thank you, sir. Please. One more time for our distinguished guest, please. Yes.
Thank you very much. I think, good evening, everyone. A protocol was already very well established by my big brothers here, and I pray for your indulgence to adopt that protocol. I think really, the Secretary of Government has really summarized everything in a nutshell in terms of some of the key focuses of the government. But if I may perhaps just piggyback on some of what he said. I think the best judge of any leader is history. While things have been very challenging, and I think we are the first to admit that things have been very challenging, you know, coming and adopting, or rather inheriting, a very difficult situation is one that requires a leader that has the acute focus of having the courage to make very, very tough decisions. And President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is just that one leader that had the capacity, the sincerity of purpose, and the real courage to make the right decisions. You know, they often say that to expect a different result and doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is the quintessential definition of a mad person, right? So you have a president that really came in, is not looking at popularity per se, but is just looking at doing something that we can bequeath a better future for the generations of Nigerians. All of us have been Nigerians outside, that have experience outside Nigeria, and we knew that Nigeria was not working. Things were not being done in the right way. And over again, we were just repeating. It was step and repeat, step and repeat. And I think kudos has to go to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, not only because we work closely with him, but only because I know that history, when history looks back at the decisions that he has made. I think history will be very fair to a lot of the very tough decisions that he has made. And, one of the main examples is the fact that he has come in with an approach of diversifying away from oil. He has looked at this 240 million and growing population. By 2050, I think Nigeria will be the third most populous nation in the world. He has looked at this very young demographic. I think 70% is younger than 17 years old. So, this is a young population that really needed something different. And for example, setting up my ministry, which is a ministry of art, culture, tourism, and the creative economy, the first of its kind, I might say. So as much as we're all proud of our musicians and our Lollywood and our fashion, our Afrobeats, the fact that never has a government come into play that has looked at this as a huge real estate and a huge resource and seen to be put up parameters and frameworks that will allow it to thrive, a enabling environment. This is what he has done by creating this very, very important ministry. And he has done so with digital economy as well, with blue economy. So you can see the kind of dynamic sort of thinking that he has. And we are working together, pari passu, with all the members of the government, with all the relevant interdependencies, to ensure that we each move the needle. Even if it's just small, just move the needle in a way that will continue to make Nigerians proud. We have to be proud. We are the greatest black nation on earth. And a lot of the global community looks at Nigeria for direction. And we are the gateway to the black community, because 70% or 1 out of every 5 African is a Nigerian, 1 out of every 7 black person of the world is of Nigerian descent. So Nigeria is the gateway. So, when Nigeria coughs or when we sneeze, the whole continent catches COVID or something like that, right? So, so again, let us continue, please, to encourage the president. Let us continue as Nigerians to look inward, not only at the president, to look at what we can also do. What part are we playing in this beautiful jigsaw of dynamic kaleidoscope of beauty and dynamism and diversity, to see what part we can play, whether we are outside Nigeria or we are inside Nigeria. We all have a part to play. But the greatest part that we have to play is to encourage ourselves, to talk good about ourselves. Nigerians are the first to always talk negatively about themselves. There's so many great things about being Nigerian. And the greatest pride of all of us is to call ourselves as Nigerian. And I think we have to continue to see how we can support the president and how we can support Nigerians, because Nigeria has to work. And if Nigeria works, Africa will work. I thank you.
Please give her one more applause. As far as I'm concerned, Nigeria is the best nation on earth, whether you like it or not. I believe that it's what it deserves. We are the brightest, the most industrious. Unfortunately, there are so many other avenues where people try to destroy us. But you know what? They cannot succeed. His Excellency, the President, is from Chicago. And guess what? He is seeing, and he has seen, and is going to continue to see and do what it takes with experience as a Chicagoan like me to do the best for the people of Nigeria. So please give him a round. Please just stand up and say thank you, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Thank you. Come on. Thank you. Have a seat. What we are going to do now it's one of the best things I think we have to do to let people know that even though we are in Chicago, outside Nigeria, we have what it takes for people to tell us you are the best. Personally, I was the first person, the first black African to be appointed as Chief Financial Officer of a state in the Human Rights Commission. I was the first. And based upon our relationship with the Reverend Jesse Jackson, we were able to sustain that superiority over others as Nigerians. We were able to utilize his influence as our leader to say, please, we need justice. Nigerians have the best, and they should be utilized effectively in the governance of the state of Illinois and in this country. Guess what? We were able to fight assiduously for the appointment of the first black foreigner to be, guess what? The Director of Public Health in the state of Illinois. And she is just coming in right now. There we go, Dr. Ngozi Ezike. We also have someone, Dr. Adefuyi. Is he here?
Adefuyi is present.
Is he here? No. Dr. Adefuyi is one of those I will call the nerds of science and medicine. Give him a responsibility in his field. We have also some of our best. Why I'm repeating this is because some of these people came out of what some of us did, indirectly and directly, to show that, yes, Africans, Nigerians, are very smart and they can govern. Nkechi is here? Is she here? She's one of our medical folks. Dr. King, you can read about her as one of those individuals who has the best economic development plans, not only for Nigeria, but for the world as a whole. I don't want to continue talking too much because I have a monologue to go into next time. So I will give it up to the original chairman. He's my boss, but I'm the president, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Life President. I think what is really most important to all of us here is to acknowledge the fact that Nigeria is thriving. And we want all of our people to acknowledge that. We know all these individuals, Dr. Ezike, Dr. Adefuyi,
The senator.
we are all contributing to United States of America. But I'm telling you, all these folks are also contributing to Nigeria. So please give them a round of applause. They are very good in what they do. And they are not just staying in Chicago. They go back and forth, Nigeria and here. I want to recollect something that I think is really very important. I mentioned earlier that some of us are passed on, some are still here, in ensuring that we support Nigeria. I could recollect when we had to bring Wole Soyinka here, some 1994, 1995, so that they can speak to the fact that Nigeria will thrive, Nigeria will succeed. In fact, it was one of those incidents that my wife got injured while trying to protect Wole Soyinka from assassination, and she was paralyzed for a long time. She's doing well now. She's here, but she's surviving. She's forever. That's Linda right there. She doesn't like to be recognized that much. And so quite a lot of people are involved in efforts to support Nigeria. we are not just here just for the sake of being here. And you know, for many of you, I go to Nigeria almost every other month. I serve on Lagos State University Governing Council. And the reason they tapped me was because the president was here and found out that I was the most producing faculty member at the University of Illinois, Chicago, where I brought on more than $80 million over a period of few years. And we train many, many students who become medical doctors, public health professionals, and nurses. Many of them are working in Nigeria now. A foundation was set up for the first time in the history of University of Illinois, over a 100-year-old institution that they call Amuwo Foundation. That was the first time. And I'm not saying that to boast, but more so to indicate that when we thrive, Nigeria will thrive. Because what we do here is not being isolated, it's spreading to Nigeria. And I'm so glad that all of you, when the president called you to come here to represent him, you showed up. And we appreciate your presence here. So thank you very, very much.
Among us today, an individual who has always been with us, whether promoting culture, education, and arts. There's a senator here from the state of Illinois. Maddie Hunter, would you please stand? I would appreciate if you can just say hello to my fellow Nigerian. Madam, please, Senator, come and say something. She has been a thorn in our flesh. She makes us feel proud as Nigerians. As a senator, she has given us money, and you can ask for more than a good lady. As of today, I'm going to make her a passport to Nigeria under the permission of the Secretary to the government.
Thank you. Thank you. Automatic, I'm going to hold you to that.
Amen.
Okay? Matter of fact, give me dual citizenship. Because at the rate our president is going, we're going to have to go somewhere.
Amen.
He may run all of us out of office and out of this country. Dr. Amuwu and Dr. Iwa, thank you very much. Honored guests, it's a pleasure for you guys to be here. Really appreciate you coming. And on behalf of the state of Illinois, I'd like to welcome you all here. I don't know if this is your first time here or not, but you're welcome here. Consider Chicago as your home. There has been, I'm Maddie Hunter, state senator from the 3rd Legislative District, so this area that you're sitting in is a part of my district, and I'm sure you all are staying downtown in a hotel. That's in my district as well. So I have the most, the richest district actually in the state of Illinois that I represent. The financial district is down there. The seat of power in terms of government is down there. And I've served in the Illinois Senate. January made it to my 24th year that I served. And we have 59 senators. And out of the 59, I am number 3. And I am an assistant majority leader. Okay? So, in terms of trade, it's important, with so much going on, and you laid out the whole scenario in terms of what's going on economically in Nigeria as well as in the world. But it's really important that the African Americans in Chicago and the U.S. continue to stay very close to our brothers and sisters over in the continent. Very, very close. We must continue to figure out how to continue with the trade, support each other on economic development issues, and that's just something that we're going to have to do. Some of us are doing it already, but we must expand it and continue the growth Africans and Nigerians are just doing a hell of a job in terms of employment, leadership positions. You heard about public health in the state and in the city of Chicago, sports. And you guys are just doing a great job, really, really great job. And I'm so proud that that they come from the continent. Just really, really proud, you know. And we must continue supporting one another. I also have a dual responsibility. I'm sure you're familiar with World Business Chicago and the Sister City program. And I'm also the co-chair of, where's Joe Harrington? Joe, he was in here a few minutes ago. Back there. Joe Harrington and I are the co-chairs of the Durban Sister City program. I used to live in South Africa in the 90s. I lived there for 3 years, working on alcohol and drug problems. That's my background. I have a master's degree in it, and I'm a certified alcohol and drug counselor. And so that's why I was over there then. But I have visited once Nigeria. It was a very, very long time, back in the 90s. And you can imagine what was going on in the country back then. I was visiting my friends in Bendo State and training some of the clinical psychologists over there. But anyway, it's time for me to, I'm way overdue. I'm way overdue, I know that. And so what we're working on is trying to put together, we're going to be working with Dr. Amuwu. He has a number of projects in mind in terms of us working together in partnership. And I don't know exactly what they are, but they'll tell me, and right away, and we're ready for it. So thank you. God bless you all. I know you all are tired because we just left the funeral services as well. And my heart is very broken because Reverend Jackson was a mentor of mine for many, many years, you know, in terms of advising me and just somebody like a big brother, you know, somebody that you can just go and talk to when you have some problems or seek advice, you know. But I learned a lot from him. He's one of my guiding lights. And I will forever be committed to continue the service that I've been providing throughout the state of Illinois. So I'm going to stop talking, and I don't know who I should get a mic to. Back to you, Eva. Thank you. God bless you all.
Before I bring in our next guest, I would like to give the microphone to the president of the African International House, Patrick Woodrow.
Thank you. Distinguished guests, all protocol observed. Before my senator sits down, I want to say thanks to her. She supports us in every way she can. She's made it possible that pretty soon African National House will have a home of its own. She put in the Illinois budget $1.5 million for African National House, and she promised she's going to get more. So we thank you, Senator.
My pleasure.
And we welcome you here with warm hearts.
Yeah.
This is African National House, which means belong to all of Africa, more so Nigeria. The Nigerian passport program is done in this place, and we have one coming up in April. So this is your home. When you go back home, and when the president was here, the last time I saw him, we gave him so many pieces of artwork from this program, from African National House. We hope he displayed them wherever he is. So we welcome you again, and thank you. Thank you for coming to honor the Reverend Jesse Jackson, who is not just an icon for Chicago or civil rights in the U.S., but for the whole world. And we thank the president for making it possible and sending such a powerful delegation to come and do the honor. Thank you.
Thanks, Pastor.
Thank you. We are at this particular point, I would like to mention that there is an ongoing effort to establish a consulate in the city of Chicago. Yes. And both the mayor of the city of Chicago, the governor's office, and some individuals, Tunji, Quadre, and some other folks are working very, very hard. And when Professor Amuwo and I sent in this information for the establishment, I think His Excellency the President was happy, and he's acquiesced to it. We have been receiving information about that, and I believe very, very soon it will take place. So, my fellow Nigerians, visitors, we are very proud of those of you who are here. This gathering is represented by leadership of the Nigerian community of the 36 states. I think because of the fact that we had rain and all, the weather is not very cooperative, some of them have not made it. We also have people from other countries, Haiti, Kenya, Mali, South Africa. They are all here to support what we are doing. And we want to use this opportunity to thank the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I don't know how to thank him. Joe, we say thank you for what you have done for us. He used to be the president of the Africa International. Thank you very much, Joe. I cannot overemphasize the role the vice president, listen, I said vice president, forever. What he has done, the leadership he has provided us. I'm just a younger person to him, and he controls me, but I'm the president. I don't care what he says. On behalf of AIH, the Nigerian community in Chicago, please take this opportunity to say, Mr. President, His Excellency, Tinubu Ahmed, you are a Chicagoan. We support what you do. We are very, very pleased with what is going on. It is not going to take 2 or 3 years to solve the problems that you inherited from other administrations. So we should please pray to God to give him the guidance, the support, the health, and everything that is necessary for him to continue his service. May God bless you all, and thank you for coming. You want to say anything? Okay. We still have some food. For those of you who have not eaten, just put the food in your pockets, and you'll be okay. Can you please, our guests, can you please wait for 1 more minute to take pictures? Please. Are we coming this way? Yeah, we pull this thing away. Call Amuwo. Tell Amuwo to. Huh?
You didn't give him my number.
You always have his number.
I'm going to sack you.
You already have his number. Yes. This way. This way. Bring them this way. This way. We're going to stand here. Okay, we are standing this way for the people. Yes, right. Please, Professor Amuwo. Amuwo, please come on. I want also to thank our catering.
Thank you.
the President of the Legations, for what she has done. We thank you and your staff. Thank you very much, sir. Hold on. Let me finish up with them, and then we can. Yeah. Wait. Let's get this one first with our guest, and then we can. Come on. We can have two lines. Come closer. Yeah. Yes. Do we stay behind? Please come on. Can we go further this way? Are you okay with us? No, he's here. Can we make it two lines? The tall ones. Yeah, come behind me. Yes. No, you can see.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait, here's Uncle Peter.
This is healing.
1, 2, 3, 4,
She had to give her another assignment. You know, she was, her name was in there. I don't know why. In fact, even the head, start pulling them out like crazy as soon as they finish.
Mayor, because I thought this one. Oh, okay, right. Wait.
I'll see you over. Wow, I saw everything you do.
I have to.
You can't drink this. This is no good.
Your PA has it.
How are you, sir? Okay, sir.
You put my soup together, right? No soup? But Eba don't finish. You have it? Give me about 4.
I don't know if there's up to 4.
Okay, give me whatever you have. Do you know that I haven't eaten all day? I haven't.
Don't sit down and eat. Let me tell them to pour you.
No. I'm going to look for my car.
Oh, that's true. You have to look for your car. Are you ready to take your food now?
Yeah, put it together. As soon as they go, I'm leaving. Oh, have you eaten?
I'm not really. I mean, I could eat a little something.
Yeah, then give me some.
I just came from,
I was there. Guess what? I parked in there, but I forgot where I parked it.
then I had to go visit my friend.
And then come back. I'm
I'm a deputy registrar for them. I didn't know everybody that came for
I saw you running.